excited, man. Hey.
Yeah, man. We've been chatting it up already, man.
We've been chopping it up a little too much,
man.
and we forgot to press record. We're gonna have to backtrack.
Warming up.
Backtrack a couple of steps, man. But no, I really appreciate you taking the time, man, and just opening up about photography. We talked about stocks.
Oh man.
Talk about life, man. But
all of it. Yeah.
You just seem like a cool cat when we ball up, of course. Wednesday nights, bro. You just seem like everybody's chill, bro. But
this guy right here is a beast. Let's talk about this beast over here. Hey, magic foot over here. This guy got a magic foot.
Yeah, bro. Games get cracking sometimes. A little too.
Hey, I'm glad
heavy.
It got way more level-headed than these.
We used to go at it, man.
I was like, everybody ain't grown up after the pandemic changed the whole soccer environment.
Nah, it's more gentle now, bro. I still remember that day where Carlos and George, and it was one of my first times, bro. I think you were there.
Oh, yeah.
They walked out with like a bloody nose and like cussing at each other, and I was like, yo, I don't know if I want to keep coming, bro.
Yeah, I've been a part of one of those. I ain't gonna lie, you probably count me, like, you know. Yeah.
Everybody always has that one player on the field, man.
Oh, man. Definitely everybody trying to win. It's like,
man.
Gotta remember, like, you know, we out here, we have to stay focused and remember that we out there just trying to, it's a blessing to have our friends and our family still wanting to push themselves athletically, want to give their time and money each week to be consistent. I'm like, I just be appreciative that y'all come consistently. When y'all don't even come, I'm like, oh, damn. Nah,
man. It's on when I come, bro. I used to live in Glendale, like I was telling you, so it was only, 12 minutes, 10 minutes?
Oh, dang.
Now I'm coming from Hawthorne or Santa Monica, so if I come, I'm not taking an L, man.
For sure. I know what team I'm watching out.
It's like Braveheart, man, or Gladiator, man. I'm coming into the end,
Hawthorne.
bro.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Excuse me. Man.
It's quite a drive, man. But I coach in Santa Monica, so I just hop on, man.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to,
I got you, man. It's on me, man.
Oh, man. Help me out, man. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to hurt him, man. I grew up playing sports my whole life. Soccer is, like, actually the weakest sport I've ever played.
What'd you play?
I grew up playing baseball my whole life. I played football and basketball, of course. And my dad's he's a professional coach, so. He's a professional trainer. So,
no way.
So like
I didn't know that. So you probably grew up with that mentality.
Yeah, my whole life, man. Like,
I can see it, man. I can see it. Every time I get the ball, I'm like, shit. I'm looking for you, man, because I'm like, this motherfucker is going to come in.
Man, you, Manny, what's this other guy that's real good you interviewed?
Romario.
Romy. Yeah. Man, as soon as y'all get the ball, just know I'm gunning for you. I'll leave my position just to make sure you don't get too much time. Cause they don't pay attention to that. I'm like, don't give him too much time. He over here he grabbing pieces and parts of like the goal. I see you like you kind of do this look over here. You do this turn. You do another look. I'm like. He is putting the whole goal together in his brain. He's gonna shoot without looking.
Yeah, man, it's like that, man. But it's just the environment. It hypes it up, man. It kind of feels like you're in a stadium sometimes. Over there,
man, I remember the first time coming up there.
Yeah.
I shot the Galaxy game. So, I know what it's like to be on a professional field. Like, and be seeing it. And I know what we be doing on that field. I'm like, look here. I need a sponsorship or something if we can be playing this hard.
It's always a good time. I was telling Romy that it's always a fun time, bro. Fun time. It's worth the drive. Anytime I hear Wednesdays or any other type of event that you guys are linking up, I'm like, oh, for sure. Good peeps. Good environment, bro.
Yeah, I need to go to some of the other hangouts. I'm like, man.
You busy man though, man.
I've been trying.
I see you with the photography, man. As soon as I followed you, man, I'm like, this guy's putting in work.
I appreciate it.
This guy's putting in work, man.
Gotta do it.
That was very, aside from you being a cool cat, that's what I found intriguing, your artwork, bro. You do all types of work, man.
Man, I appreciate you.
You go from weddings to child to like, you do the fashion work. Risque. That was it. risque, man.
Yeah.
Which is very sensitive. Yeah. I want to talk to you about that. Instagram, the whole censorship, man. You were saying that Instagram has this algorithm, right? Can you tell me more about that?
So like, excuse me. This algorithm has like these algorithms that they're trying to articulate, they're trying to program so that it's making it very intuitive and easy for you to go on, as well as making sure you're not seeing nothing that you're not supposed to be seeing, or well, because it's not that it offends you, but it offends the conservative person that doesn't want to have to scroll through that. So they're making the mediums extremely user friendly, so you don't come across anything that will give you any ill heart. But with that heavy scrutiny of trying to weed out all this, everybody live off of it now. So you got trillions of information being uploaded on a daily, on an hour by hour, moment type of thing. And with that, it can't really. Now they're just trying to get a basis. Like, all right, look it, we can't weed it all out now. Like, look here now. Like, okay, all right, I know her boobs ain't showing, but that's a lot of cleavage. That's gotta go. They're like, yep. And her thing ain't showing, but look at it, something is some showing here. So that gotta go. And like, and so like
it's gotten sensitive, in other words, or it's gotten more in depth, right?
Yep. And so I grew up with a programming background, and a lot of people don't understand that the programs are always trying to, even the camera, your phone, your TV, it's always trying its best to be a human. And so when we keep trying to guess, oh, it's the algorithm being the algorithm, it's actually us.
Yeah,
it's a human thing. It's trying to.
Didn't they make a documentary? What's that called? The Social Dilemma.
Yep.
That's it. I didn't bother seeing it because I already know where it's going, man. It's
It's
just technology is getting better and better, man. It's more human-like, if you will, man.
Yep, because that's what we want. We have, like, that's the consumer need. Like, even all my schooling and marketing and all that stuff, that's all we work on. We work on color theory to see which one it will appeal to the consumer the most. Like, we work on certain choice of words to see which one will make a body of people or trigger them. Like, we use trigger words so that they can be triggered, and then you put them into a emotional space where then you can feed them information. Like,
that's
all
crazy.
Kinds of stuff like that.
There's beauty, but there's
a lot of
it's alarming. It's alarming too, man. Because you know. I was watching Joe Rogan. There's this one cat up there, man, that talked about how you go on to Instagram, for instance, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna just spend 1 minute, 2 minutes tops, bro, and then you catch yourself slipping, bro. You just
you're
on there.
And Instagram doing their job. That's doing their job. That's somebody getting paid well.
That part. And then they make sure they focus on the things, so you could follow like 1,000 profiles or people, right? But they pay attention to how much time you put into that, man.
Yep. Your insight, your consistency, and it's like we're getting into a world where this is the world, and we constantly want evolution, we want to evolve, but then we don't want to deal with the consequences and the responsibility of the things evolving. So it's not that a phone or a gun or any of these things, the technology is a problem. It's the people that are not growing within themselves to handle this, the knowledge. So like you learn in school, you learn philosophy, you learn knowledge, but knowledge means nothing without knowing oneself.
That's deep.
You know, so
say that one more time, man.
So it's like
that's some finger snapping.
I appreciate you. Yeah, and
it's kind of like that movie, man. Huge Will Smith fan, bro.
Oh man.
Come on, man.
Player, man. I'm the whole Smith family, man. I'm a big fan. Like, bro, the mindset. The mindset,
man. Yeah, man. But that movie, man, shed light on that, bro. Just like. The whole, everybody was blaming the robot when there was a human behind all the evil intentions. And we're getting closer to that, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to that.
The more and more you understand, like, what a scientifically, what a human being's body, what is to be human, what is to be alive, and you get down to the breakdown of that, it's just no more different than just a signal relaying another signal, interpreting a signal. Like it's just, and so well, that's all we have. These computers, these Wi-Fi, this all is just relaying signals to each other, and then we created a component to articulate that, this body to articulate language, so that's all this body is just a vessel, a computer, or to articulate. So when your computer gets overheated, you gotta go to sleep. But your brain don't stop working. Your brain doesn't go to sleep. So I tell people all the time, like, you never dreamed of anything that doesn't exist. So when we say it's just a dream, but you're dreaming of reality. You're only using moments of reality that you've visually seen. So even if it's a monster, the monsters consist of teeth and skin. You know, your mom, you know, your auntie, the person that whooped that ass too much. Like, you know, all the people, you know, and these we just say a figment of our imagination, but these, you know, our imagination is the only true reality. So somebody's imagination created that camera, which that's reality. So we call this reality, but that's not its true origination. It came from a thought process. So imagination is as real as
it's powerful. Albert Einstein said that, man. My dad and I talk about, like, for example, if I were to get my iPhone and go back to the 1800s, you know, they'll immediately just ban me or just feel uncomfortable. Man. And they'll be like, yeah, witchcraft. This guy's not human.
Don't even look at it.
And I have to explain. So we argue about, what are aliens, bro? Are they pretty much us from the future that have evolved with the sunlight? Because they say the sun is getting stronger and stronger, right? Is it us just evolving, and now we could speak through our minds, and our third eye has been enhanced through, and we've been able to wash all of it? It's just crazy talk to someone who's not open-minded. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Me and my collective of people and friends. It's all we do all day. It's just
you guys talk, man. I gotta chop it up with y'all, man. We gotta spark one up, bro, and just.
Oh man, for sure. Hey, that's what we really go deep. But yeah, that's outside of photography and the sports and art, that's been kind of my true passion within myself. I'm a big connoisseur of history, religion, culture, any aspect of the human nature that we've developed from the beginning to what we think we got going on currently, and how that kinetically connects to each other, flows with each other. How, like, why are we repeating things in the cycle of mankind in a situation and perspective wise? So you see so many things constantly renewing itself. So I've learned that with a lot of studies, like we talk about past, present, and future, like they're like the different things, but you simultaneously go through them every single moment of every single second. So it's like when we're constantly talking about that in measurement of time, it has no relation. So when we developed this like number system, the number system was a system it's just a system of symbols that are going, you know, that is repeating itself over and over to measure something. But how can you measure something that was existing before the numbers existed?
So, what about time too, man? Time was invented by man, bro. I even found out, I'm sure you know this, bro. There's no such thing as 24 hours. It's 24 hours and some change.
Yep.
So if you add that all up, is it really 2020? You know what I'm saying? And if it's not really 2020, then where are we?
There we go.
And then if we erase religion, where some people will be like, whoa, no, don't touch that, right? What year are we in?
If you erase religion, you can still have faith. You can still have higher being. You can still have higher thought. You can just erase religion, which is just rules.
Invented by X date. Are you religious, dates, by the way, or are your parents religious? Let me start with that.
My parents have religious background, but as far as them doing the practice of religious faith, the consistency, I don't see it there. I've had it more in me, and then they keep growing. But I'm more of I don't have a religious focus. I study all forms of belief of any higher focus, of any higher consciousness, of any higher energy. I think in the Bible, the Lord talks about, I go by a plethora of names. So if he goes by a plethora of names, that means, you know, Yahweh, Buddha, any of these things, any of these forms or symbols of energy can be whichever way you want to articulate it. There's a lot of findings in the Bible that you are in scripture or in scrolls or in different forms of peaceful thinking that they all connect and relate to the same thing.
That's cool. And it's also the pronunciation, man. Like in Spanish, Javier. In English, it's Javier. So it just mixes different. I was learning about Tao the other day, Taoism, and how it's spelled differently. It's taught differently, man. It's just
man.
And then you look at religion nowadays. My dad was Catholic, my mom was Christian, right? Man, those things have their own branches, dude.
All underneath the same house, and they don't even teach that. Like Christian and Catholic, same focus of religion, but just at focusing at different parts of the history of the same. But that is not articulate. So how can you be against each other, studying the same thing, just at different points of time of that study?
Yeah.
So it's like
it's interesting. It's tough to grasp all of it, and then at the end of the day, when you, I don't want to say argue, but when you challenge someone, when they run out of answers,
that's when
they pull the faith card out right away. Faith.
I just have faith, and it's like even the Lord talks about blind faith, and that He doesn't need a blind soldier. He doesn't need blind faith. He asks you to test yourself and have a testimony to speak His gospel and to speak His gospel. Like the Lord even
blind faith.
Yeah, the Lord even talks about I hate the sin, not the sinner. So in that He understands that we will backslide or turn our way, but in that is true honesty, and you always have a chance of acceptance or welcoming into the house of the Lord, like, which is clearly stating, I understand that you would have to actually see a other side in order to understand this side in the first place.
Politics, bro. Today. That's what I see, the same thing.
Oh, man.
I have Democratic friends, and I have Republican, and I got communist friends. I shouldn't say that. Socialist-minded friends.
I'm glad that you're saying more of that. Like, the fact that a lot of people just stick in the fact that it's like red and blue. I'm like, first of all, when we want to... This ain't gang banging across the country? Just talk about that. Stop there, okay? I'm just a black man with issues. It's like we just gonna gang bang.
I got plenty issues already.
We gonna gang bang publicly. Okay, all right, but okay, red and blue. All right. But when it comes to the politics and even the body and people understanding the politics, and what we have you got a prom king and queen being televised when the true democracy and the true government is in the House of Representatives. And so you got people knowing more about who they gonna vote through popularity for the presidency, which is no more than a monkey in a suit trying to do all the work, and no more than the hostess getting all the positive and bad and good energy in the beginning and the end of the meal. No different from that person, but not in the full outcome of what gets the restaurant running, what gets the food cooking, and what gets the orders in and out.
It's crazy, man. It's great. Our vote doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yep. And so you
got the popular, and then you got the
and people don't. Oh man, we lost the right to our vote being really accounted for when we created a system where we focused on a structure system, with a pyramid scheme system where
and how some states have their vote means twice, if not three times
there we
more.
go for something.
And then you look at the demographics. I studied I was telling my boy Romy that I studied sociology and communications, and in sociology I learned a lot about race. So whenever something occurs in social class, right, I learned a plethora of things, right, because sociology is just opens so many windows and doors, bro. But what I learned from there, man, is whenever something occurs, before I let emotion because we're triggered by emotion. Our buying decisions, what I learned, are triggered by emotion.
Yep.
Before I let any percentage of emotion get in the way, I take 2 steps back and I analyze the whole thing. Like, why did this happen?
Yep. True reflection.
When there's a crime taking place in the hood, when there's police brutality, when there's corruption taking place, when you go back to where my parents are from and you see the whole outcome, you take 4 steps back and you're like, okay, why is this taking place? Before I let emotion get in the way.
Chess moves, man. Chess moves.
That's right. You choose how you want to win or lose, man. Yeah.
And it's just the way you decide to analyze the board that you are playing in each environment, each player that you play against. And I've had as a black man, I've had plenty of guns and looked down the barrel of them. And even my roommate, she'll let you know, like, her first 6 months of living with me, she'd been pulled over more times in her 33 years of life than she'd ever been her whole life, just in the first 6 months. And there's 2 times just right outside this place where we got pulled over, where I wasn't even driving, and we got guns drawn on us, and we didn't get a ticket. So how our gun, stuff like that. But
I'm sure they got a solid excuse, like, oh, there was a crime and you happen to be in the area.
Yeah. But I've also been in those situations where it was a pinch of pressure away from it being a different environment, from me being on the news and seeing, we talk, a lot of people like to talk about Black lives or these situations and never been in the actual environment, or you never really ever see the person that was in the environment, because God forbid they didn't even make it alive, but was able to make themselves out of the situation, how they really articulate what they saw for themselves. It's like, you don't see no pig, you don't see no disgusting hood member. You see a person that is dealing with fear because they've been trained that there are a lot of outcomes that can come out of this situation. And like a chess move, when you don't train, you're not teaching somebody how to deal with those. You're just giving them a whole bunch of information. Then they're dealt with that information. So even a young man like myself, articulating myself to a person and trying to see what's going through his mind, still struggling with peace in himself and what he should do with that, with so much power in his hand. We don't teach people the value of power. We tell them how to be authoritative. We give them instructions, but we don't. To have power is to have integrity. To have power is to have manners. And the more we get so factual, when we all want to become these intellectual, these best beings of ourselves, that's not facts. That's integrity. That's belief. That's faith, and that's trust. And when you're working in that game, in that system, it has nothing to do with who's right and who's wrong. It has nothing to do with who pulled the trigger and who died as well. Because we all going to die. How do we learn the lesson? We don't want to look at that. We all going to die. So yes, it's very sad that people, we sign and shake our men and our children's hand at 18, 16, 17, no problem, and tell them to go and put a gun in their hand and go off to war. But then we don't trust them to drink a drink. We tell them to put a gun in their hand.
That's tough. Yeah.
So that's the psychological warfare that people are dealt with as citizens, to be a part of and contributing. Now you think you're being a hero, but then everything that they told you about heroism isn't matching up. And I saw that. I saw a person in what they thought wasn't matching up, and dealing with that, and just like almost want to close their eyes and just see what is this thing that they've been talking about. Because when you go in a police academy, if I don't know if you know, if you have too high of an IQ, you can't become a police officer. If you score too high on their test, you can't become an officer.
Why is that?
Because in order to get somebody to, the system, it already understands that it's not perfect. And so if you are a high IQ driven person, you will constantly be questioning the system that you are bringing justice to and involved to, which makes it very, very hard for people to get a group of people to do something. So they look for certain IQ levels that seems more manageable for a person, but the system was created in the first place off of a corruption in the framework of thinking in the first place. So even though as a body and people we've elevated to understanding that treating a human being takes this type of integrity, takes this type of morality, the system that we created that in, that wasn't of value. That wasn't of any sense of this is what's needed. Mm-hmm. And so we're still keeping that system and then trying to, so it's just like trying to like fix a band-aid, or we keep trying to just, patch it up
and just move on
and it's like we could, still, it's all kinds of possibilities, but like the biggest possibilities come from, I've been put over the hood of a car and I've been molested in front of thousands of people. That's where the biggest responsibility comes. Yeah. It's not that we want to talk about the disgust of the officer and the pig. What about the disgust of one person's going to die? We already know that. So why don't we all fight for that? Citizenship. True citizenship will stop all that. Because there's still just people. We want to make monsters, but there's still people holding a gun. And if you affect a person's emotions, man, even people that are serial killers, they talk about, crying and all that other stuff. They still got emotions. Gotta affect somebody's emotions if you want something to change.
That's deep, man. That's deep. While you were saying that, I was thinking of the IQ, man, and how crazy it is that they wanna, I don't want to say hire someone that's not smart, bro. You know what I mean? Because I got cats that went through the college system, the university system, and then some cats that just decided to go to the force. I got a homie who told me he's a good guy, man. Yep. Good guy. He used to be in the anime and everything. I'm sure he still is. I talked to him now, completely different cat, bro. He says, Javi, this shit fucked me up.
Yep.
I can't stop drinking.
Yeah, a lot of opposites.
Every night I wake up and as much as I want to see a change in the system, when you see a friend who's been sucked into that system, you have no choice but to wish him the best, bro. Because that's your homie right there.
Man.
You look at your boy and I'm like, I just hope he just makes it through another day in peace. He tells me he gets followed late at night.
Oh, yeah, man.
He tells me he has to look out through the window at night. And I'm like, this cat is not part of the problem, but now he's getting put into that problem, bro.
Yeah, one thing I've learned about, I have a lot of friends that, you athlete. So a lot of your friends, the homies, they don't make it to where they want. They become an officer. They become something that allows them to be a leader, be in charge, and do something for authority people as well. And it's not just an authority thing, but what comes with authority comes responsibility in the amountment of stepping to that responsibility. And that's, as an athlete, you see a lot of these guys, they're athletes. For them and accomplishing goals for them that we haven't even accomplished any goals for ourselves. Then we end up putting that on our children. We end up putting that on our relationship,
our careers, anything, bro.
Versus getting out there and getting it. I'm like,
because the way we treat ourselves is also a relationship, bro. Man. The way we feel. I keep going back to Will Smith, man. But Will Smith, man. Will, man.
That's a smart individual fella right there.
But he talked about, it's funny, you got the Men in Black right there.
Hey, that Hancock, we got all of it. Focus is over there,
What's his best film? What do you think his best film? What's your favorite film? I don't think we should say best.
Oh, man. His best film was an interview when he was giving appreciation to what he learned about his relationship with his father. Like, we give too much on, like, we were talking about only giving attributes and highlights to golden moments, but like an interview with an actor is a movie. And you are lucky to be a part of that interview because somebody that has complete control over their emotional intent is about to display to you how to communicate.
I wasn't expecting that, bro.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a movie, bro, but you just fucked me up with it.
Oh man, I tell you right now, I watched it over and over.
Is them being vulnerable. They're not picking up a script.
Man, for real.
And you know, I was
acting.
in an agency where I studied method acting. But even with method acting, you have to put yourself in a situation.
Yep.
You have to either open a scar, a wound that you thought you healed, and reenact that moment. Or you have to learn from someone else's wound.
What do they call that? When it's on the spot acting.
It's not spontaneous. It's improv.
Yep, improv.
Improv,
it's literally
bro.
watching.
It's just,
in the best interviews, yeah, that's the professional improv actor. Like, and Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, their whole family really.
The whole family is gifted, bro.
Gifted, and just the choices. And everybody keeps wondering, like, how do I want that story, I want these things. And it's like, but are you looking at the story? I know it sounds great and it's entertainment and it sounds beautiful, but it was creative, it was hard, and it was different. And you want the same as everybody else. Don't even compute. Don't even add up. And a lot of people, I'm like, man, I'm going for conflict, difficult, unique. Like, that's the life that I deserve to be in.
Because shit ain't pretty in real life, bro.
Man.
Why are we pretending that everything's Hollywood, bro?
Yeah, like the most beautiful paintings are the ugliest ones, man.
That's complex, bro.
Man.
I heard this one cat, bro. He's from Australia, but his ancestry is from, and forgive my ignorance, is the Native Americans, in other words, of that part of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I have to research that. And
indigenous background.
Indigenous background, bro. But he was talking about this word that they invented in the forest, and in the forest, it's a beautiful thing. Even the word forest in their language means like some avatar-like.
Oh
word.
Man, I got a book that is written all these different stories from these indigenous frameworks of perspective, and they talk about everything different: air, the wind, the interpretation of how they go about their structure of life and what that brings for their groups, their environment, their social structure. Like man, the language choice, what beautiful means, to use a word like beautiful, to use a word, the power of using a word,
and the contrast
when you put a reason,
oh my God, bro.
Man.
I'm trying to tell you, man, we gotta travel, we gotta open our eyes, man. But to sum it up, he pretty much meant that the beauty behind their tribe, their people, their society was that they glorified imperfections.
Man,
and they glorified unity, but the fact that they're united doesn't mean that they're the same. And the fact that they're not the same means that they're even more beautiful. So it enhances the word beautiful. Right, and I forget the word, I gotta look it up, but the beauty behind you being yourself and showing your imperfections or showing that you're weird or different, that just makes you a better contributor to their society. And when I saw that, bro, I was like, why isn't Western civilization talking about that, man? Why is it talking about all the Photoshop motherfuckers and shit?
Then you can take advantage of me. But then, like, I tell people all the time when people, like, message me, like, oh, man, I love your smoke shots. I do a lot of smoke photography.
Yeah, I seen that.
And they're, like, asking me for my permission, or people are messaging me, like, oh, this dude stole your shot. I'm like, first and foremost, I didn't come up with smoke. It's like, yeah, like, damn. Second, like, I'm not in the game I don't own nothing. If they could steal it, that means it was good enough to be stolen. Second, third, like, that means that I need to work harder, because that means somebody could just interpret what the fuck I was doing that quickly, that easily. So it was worth something, and I'm the one that did it first. So
one of the biggest things that you learned from photography was what, boss man?
One of the biggest things I learned about photography is that if I don't control my insecurities while I'm working with this person, it can get out of hand. Where I was insecure on capturing the shot like I had been presenting to this person. I had been wanting to capture so much, but I didn't I didn't prepare ahead of time. I thought, you know, I could handle this in the moment.
Kind of like wing it.
Yep.
Yeah,
But you know, I had a good eye on the concept I was going for, so I thought I could do it. And it's not that I couldn't. I just, when I was going through the dynamic of trying to figure it out, she was also riddled and filled with insecurities, constantly asking, like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? Do I look good? All these questions, constantly asking me questions, and when you're already filled with insecurities in yourself, and you got another person questioning you questioning yourself, like, man, that shoot just got to the point where we both were arguing and agreeing.
Wow.
Agreed on everything and argued about every single thing we were talking about in that environment. And then I had another shoot. You know, luckily the photos and the outcome of the work came out so good. She was so impressed. She still wanted to work with me. So we had another shoot, different energy, different person, same insecurities though. But I had a different approach. I had a different energy. I was goofing off, and I was like, girl, shoot, you know, like relating myself. I'm like, you know how, you know, like all kinds of stuff, just
to make sure,
you know, and because I wasn't
comfortable,
you know, and every question I was asked, I didn't have no problem answering it for myself. So it really changed the whole environment, and that's when that person ended up becoming a really good friend. And so that was very shocking when I was telling my roommate, like, oh yeah, there's no way I'm shooting this person again. Like,
wow.
To them becoming a really good friend.
You also discovered a different shade of you too, man.
Yeah.
A part of you that you thought was uncertain. In other words, bro. Amazing, bro. Yeah. I wanted the main reason, bro, is just the beauty behind your photography, man. I got a lot of friends that, like Misa, I got a homie named Sean that practice photography.
Shout out to Misa.
Everybody,
Misa killed the game, man.
Misa's nice with it, bro.
Nice, bro.
Misa used to catch me at work sometimes, like, hey, homie, stand still. And I'll be like, I gotta fly. I got a booger hanging out. He's all like, no, stand still. He busts out his camera, and he gives me this stare, bro. Like, just, bam. I'll be like, what the fuck? This motherfucker taking pictures at work, bro. Fuck is wrong with you? And he'd be like,
see
look,
that
bro.
Black and white edit.
Bro,
man,
this dude is nice with it, man. But, man, and that's why I was very intrigued, not only as the person, Delaney himself, right, on the field playing soccer, but very intrigued by your artwork, bro. And I was like, yeah, I got to chop it up with this phone. You know, like, what got you into it? You know, what kept you in it? And what's your long-term goal?
Skateboarding. Skateboarding for damn sure got me into photography. I was really trying to pursue skateboarding professionally. You got photographers and videographers constantly with you, and my photographers became my best friends. My videographers became my best friends. So it's not that I even got into photography due to just wanting to like and take photos. I had such a honor of them friends and what they were able to capture for me. I'm like, man, you made this moment feel like, you made this moment look like it felt. And the fact that you sat there for hours to make sure that got done with me through this whole process. And that's partnership. It's like partnership like no other. And I just learned the integrity behind the photographer, the integrity behind the videographer. And I just liked taking photos when I'd be hurt. I'd like, man, I want to help out. I just want to help out like that. I want to be a helpful person. And so he'd be like, man, you would help me out so much if you get this second angle, because I don't know if I'm gonna really get it. And just hearing them be like, man, I wouldn't even tell them, but I don't know if I'm gonna get this shot. So could you get me backed up over here? And like, you know, be like, man, it just like putting that importance in myself and be like, I got you. Like, stuff
You're
like
honored.
that. Man, and
you're honored to be a part of that.
So I wanted to get my own camera, do it, you know, film my own stuff. And I was already going to school for graphic design and multimedia, so I kind of knew how to use the programs and figure stuff out. And then I taught myself photography. And when I was teaching myself photography through like sports and just shooting the homies, just shooting friends, and you know, people were really liking how I was choosing to shoot it. But then I had a homegirl who was one of my homies, his girlfriend, and she had a real bad encounter with a photographer and shooting some risque photos. And she was just like, she knew me as just personally, and she's like, I know you don't take pictures of ladies, but would you mind taking photos of me? I just need you take really good photos. So and I was like, oh, for sure. And so when she showed me, she's like, my first time getting into like shooting nude and shooting the photography I do today was from a model sending me reference photos. I had never looked at like naked photos other than porn. So it's like, you know, like I never looked at it artistically or nothing, or seen that people can do all these things in shooting a body and just shooting
beautiful,
certain parts of the body and stuff like that, and the emotion you can display with vulnerability with that, and that's what really intrigued me. I'm like, dang, who's this? One of the reference photos she sent me, I'm like, who's this photographer? And I'm like, and it was Van Styles, this very famous photographer. And he's a skateboard guy, skateboard photographer as well. And man, I just really got into that whole, after shooting with her and seeing her response to me, and then seeing like, she was like, man, like I never even worked with somebody like this. And I'm just like, I worked with her no different than guys and homies work with each other on a team or at a skate spot, just getting each other back and not worrying about all the other stuff. Like when you at a skate spot and your homie is jumping down a flight of stairs and he's been trying it for hours and doesn't think that he can do it anymore, and any slight of doubt in his mind, you know he can get extremely hurt. It ain't about masculinity, it ain't about being some tough dude. It's about like, nah, bro, I got you. Like, if you fall, you follow me. I got you. Like, it's so much camaraderie of like,
we in this together.
We in this together. No matter if you get hurt, no matter whatever, I want to see you succeed. You succeeding means more to me than anything else right now. And learning that and then bringing that energy to my subjects or my model. I shoot with a lot of men too, and a lot of people don't know that I shoot a lot of men doing nude photography, are couples, and I worked in a lot of adult industry, so I've been in a lot of vulnerable situations where you know you're shooting somebody and you see a couple having communication problems, and it gets way more than a photo shoot. And that's a part of the moment of capturing a moment. It's like, how do I turn this? I want to take photos of them arguing, but they are very emotionally intact with each other right now. So how do I turn this argument into a positive conversation? And in those, I've had.
That's crazy, man. You're more of a therapist, I dare to say.
Man, I really like it. It can feel like it can. You know what I mean?
It's not just some random cat who's picking up a camera and saying, "Hey, I got a pretty lens. Let me take some shots of you through this angle."
That's how you get real.
It's more like how I was just telling you. Like when I went through some photo shoots, I had some weird people, and it translates into images. And I had to pay them $300, $500, $800. Yeah. And I walk over like, "What the fuck is this, bro?" You know, you're an entertainer. Mentor, therapist, photographer.
I tell everybody like, when
hype man.
You fucking hype. I style. I everything. Like models, a lot of times they don't even know how to dress themselves sexy, and I see why they have such a tough time appealing their significant other. They don't. A lot of women, a lot of these poses you see before they got into it. You see me doing, the pose, and it's like. Their intuitiveness of what appeals the opposite sex, or their intuitiveness of what appeals themselves, they're really at disconnect with. And so I'm just basically connecting that with them, like in the moments, and just like click, like that's photography. If I'm a photographer, then that's 1 second. The rest of the other stuff is me being me and trying to get to know a person and see what I can capture with them, and what insecurities they can put down, what environment will they like to set themselves in with me. And that's really, really important as a photographer, to be clear on the stage that you will have your subjects be set in, versus just having them run wild with their insecurities.
And this is why they keep coming back. You gotta take that, man. Don't you got an appointment right now, man?
Oh, sorry. That's that Harry Potter.
That Harry Potter, yeah.
All right.
Let's wrap this up, man, because we could keep going, or we're gonna keep going some other day. But
man, please,
this is the beauty behind this whole vlog, man. You're constantly getting clients, and as you can see, there's one waiting outside. So I want to thank you, man, because the main chunk that we were supposed to get, we did it. We went everywhere, and I love that. I love that. This is the whole point of this, man. This is why I'm doing this, bro. And I want to hear what the next steps look like for you, next chapters, bro. So handle that. Enjoy your shoot, man. I know you're gonna fucking kill it. And, I look forward to seeing how this video comes out too, man.
And
so.
Man, I'm mad.
What's your IG? Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot.
Lettuce Photography is my IG, and if you don't know, this man right here is one of the dopest guys I know. I'm an artist. I know a lot of different people, and man, the way you hold yourself and your character, even on the field, is it is something that even if your eyes are closed, you will feel and you will see.
I appreciate
and
you,
I
man.
really appreciate you chatting with me, saying you want to do this.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Man, completely honored to be part of the process, man.
Love you, bro. Nothing but love, brother.
Man, for sure.
I'm looking for the next chapter, and then I'll see you tomorrow.
Man, I'm stretching already. Okay? I don't know if y'all know we ain't as young as we used to be. All right, I be feeling it. For like 3 days straight after.
Yes, man, bro. Your body.
We talk about soccer, y'all. Soccer, man.
Your body feels it right away, man. I feel it, man.
Yep,
it ain't the same, bro.
Stretching is key.
Stretching.
For the brain, the mind, the soul, the body.